What's up?
What's good, bro?
How y'all doing?
Great.
Doing amazing.
Good.
All right, well, everybody, welcome back. We are back to the Voices for KERN podcast. I am your moderator, Jovan Dangerfield, media personality and Time for Change executive director and pizza boy on the weekend. You already know.
I am Yasmin Carrillo. I have been with Time for Change for a couple months now, and I'm really proud to be here.
My name's Victor Lara. Y'all already know me, and you guys are gonna get to know me even more. And I'm a youth volunteer here, and I'm just ready to do some amazing things here, bro.
I
So
believe it.
My name's Sincere, but I go by Cece. I've been with Time for Change for about 10 months, and I'm super happy to be here.
Yeah. So, as you know, we've been building up this podcast, getting this thing popping, giving the voice to you guys to speak, and just allowing me to be here and be old. It's also cool. Yeah, old, young. Yeah, oldish, youngish. No.
it's like middle age.
Middle ages. I'm done. So I'm happy to be here and have this conversation. This podcast is for us to use a platform to be able to speak to the real things that are going on in society and hear from Gen Z and really just talk that real. So, you know, it's Women's Month. How you guys feeling about that? Yeah, yeah, we love you guys.
I feel like
I love women.
we're getting a little bit more hate this month.
Thirsty.
Hey, bro, I got my girl, you know.
There you go. There you go.
She said you got water right there.
Yeah, so this is the month that we celebrate women. We have a lot of great women in Time for Change. Yeah, we have a lot of great women we have off. We have off woman, Kylie, who's your everyday hero woman, do it all genius woman.
She does a lot.
Yeah.
Running in heels and everything.
Yeah. And so starting on that, I just want to jump right in, right? Are women loved the way they're supposed to be in our world?
Not.
Uh-oh.
Not at all.
Why not? Jump on it.
I feel like people are extremely hypocritical when it comes to women. They want a superhero instead of a woman. They want a person who's not real instead of a woman. They want a woman to be something that they can't even be for themselves. So I feel like that's kind of hypocritical, coming from women and men, but majority men speaking about women. So
our proximity to you is to make you a superhero.
I feel like the expectations.
Talk about some of those. What are those?
So many things. We could talk about like media to start off with, or like, you know, celebrities, like how they want this amazing girl, but they don't have, you know, the priorities and the morals for themselves. You know, it's like expecting someone to be something that you can't be, you know, like it's unreal, and it's not something that women should have to do, you know, especially young women. They expect them to grow up so fast and be all these things, and it's not ideal. Like, you can't expect someone to be young and old at the same time, to be mature and immature at the same time, to be a virgin and a freak at the same time. You can't do all these things. You're not that. You're not, and you don't have to be. But at the same time, you're expected to be, and I feel like that's not cool.
Everybody do like this real quick.
Snaps.
Freaking bars right here. And we're not done with that. We got to hit that because I got to know. But when you hear her say that, how does that resonate with you? Yes.
Well, like she said, we get put on a lot of expectations, like look-wise, personality-wise, and how they expect us to be. And like, it's just a lot that comes like with it, because everybody says like, oh yeah, they say their dream girl, right? And then we're kind of like, oh, but we don't have that. We can't have that. So it's not reachable. They're like standards that aren't reachable.
Ooh.
Or anything, yeah.
How does that make you feel as a woman when, you know, it's always some other girl that's a dream girl and not our everyday actual real women? What does that make you feel like?
Well, if we're going back to social media, everybody sees like all these girls, and there's some girls that I have seen that do post like fitness people. They post like them posing, and then they post themselves like relaxed, and it kind of helps some girls see like, oh, it's not like everything you see online is not like real.
Exactly.
It's not like
natural.
Yeah, like natural and stuff like that. And especially right now with a bunch of girls getting surgery, expecting to get surgery, like BBLs and stuff like that. It's a lot.
And I believe that that's perfectly fine. I understand like people have their insecurities and everybody wants to be their best self, and that's perfectly fine. BBLs, lip fillers, do what you got to do, but don't push that narrative to make people believe that that's
That you
real,
have
that
to,
that's a real
yeah.
woman. A real woman has a big butt and some plump lips and a perfect nose. Not everybody is going to have that. You're setting this expectation for these young little girls, and they're going to grow up wanting to be that, being insecure, not loving themselves. And I just hate it. I don't like it at all. At all.
And they expect us to look like that, and then when people who do get that surgery, they talk smack about the surgery.
Right.
They say, why do you go do this and that, you know?
It's like, why do you get lip
It's like
fillers? Why do you have a big butt?
backhanded, yeah.
Your dream girl is with lip fillers and a big butt. Nobody's going to have that perfect tiny waist with that big butt. Like, you're not going to get that from no girl here. I mean, maybe genetics, cool, but like, you're not going to find a person like that. I feel like those expectations are really unrealistic, and you're not going to get there at all.
Man in the room, I want to ask something. All right, don't throw nothing. But I want to ask this because this is our podcast space.
All right.
From a man's perspective, it's like, I know I hear you guys saying, you know, you don't like that, but then from a man's perspective, and then Victor, you can like speak to this if this is real for you too. I see like women like hella much playing into that, where I can't hardly get on Instagram without somebody like throwing their cheeks in the sink.
Right,
or
no.
back and, you know, going sideways and
Right,
hitting you with the period,
The
right?
arch in the back.
And then how are we supposed to feel?
But why are they doing that though? Males' attention. The males have shown them like, oh, this is all you're worth to me. So if you don't give me this, then I'm out.
Wow.
I feel like personally, for me, like that's the way that I see it. Like nobody's gonna want you if you're not doing this and this and that. And if you're not giving me these things that I want, bullet point A, B, C, you're not worth anything to me. And I've seen a lot of guys who don't even personally want to be friends with women if they don't have point A, B, C. If they can't see them getting with that girl or being able to have an opportunity in the future to be with that girl. So it's like, I don't know. It's like we can't win either way. I understand that there are women who do like just want the attention, which is perfectly fine. Go live your life. But at the same time, there are like males who push that narrative and make women feel like they have to be that way in order to be loved, cared about, valued, which is not true at all. So
Yeah, she's right because you know, when you go on Instagram, like you said, you know, there's girls, you know, posting these type of pictures, and when you look at it, you know, you go look at the likes with the picture where she's showing a lot, she's revealing a lot. That's gonna have way more likes than if she's just right there smiling. You feel me? Because that's what guys, you know, I mean, you know, that's what guys go and look for. So I feel like that's what they see. Like, okay, this is what a guy wants. When in reality, you know, not all men are like that. You know, there's some men that, you know, they care about your personality, how you are, you know, the type of person that you are. So I mean, there is a lot of men.
Do you see a lot of those men? The ones that you just mentioned?
I see more men that are looking for the girl, like you guys mentioned, you know, with the big butt, you know, then a girl with a personality. But you know, that's when problems happen because this guy's looking for something that is not there, you know. So
and kind of to little piggyback off that a little bit, even when you do find the guys who are like the good guys, you know, it's like
us.
When you find the good guys, it's either like even the guys who are good guys, they get hated on by the guys who are not the good guys, you know? You get put down for being a good guy by your own friends, your own community, your own people, you know? It's like you can't even, and I'm like not even to be like, oh guys are bad. I'm not saying that at all. Like of course, as Victor said, not all men, just not all women either, you know? But like you get hated on and you get pushed into this life, you know, and like even if you're not like, oh, she didn't need to have a big butt, your friends are like, but it would be great if she did, you know, like you get pressured so hard. Even like growing up, you get pressured so hard. Just like my little brother, you know, he don't know nothing about dating. He's a little boy, but you know, his friends are telling him like this and this and that. Not to get into anything like too much, it's not brother, but you know, like you get pushed so far, and I feel like people just take peer pressure. People just take pressure in general, and it just, I don't know, it pushes people.
I love that you mentioned how guys, you know, they're like that a certain way, because I've had it happen to me, you know, when they're like, oh, he's a mandilon, you know, he's a simp because he's listening to his girl. But it's like, bro, you know, like, I know what I want for me, you know, and this girl is what I want. So it's like, you can call me a simp all you want, bro, but, you know, I'm getting the love that I need, you know, while you're over here chasing all these other girls that you might not ever get, you know? So you got to keep it realistic sometimes, man. And a lot of people are going to hate and they're going to talk. You know, one thing that I always like to say is people are going to talk regardless, man. Like if you're doing good, they're going to talk. Oh, he's doing this, he's doing that. If you're doing bad, they're going to talk. So, you know, just be you, and, you know, you got to know what you really like. You got to know what you're looking in for women. And if, you know, anybody listening to this, if you're a guy or whatever, it's don't go for the looks, because at the end of the day, looks, they're not gonna be forever. Once a girl gets older, she's gonna change just as me. When I'm 40, I'm not gonna look like this. So
Yo, when this drops, bro, you're gonna have so many dates.
Don't even say this.
Hey, this man right here, I'm telling you, man, this man's a winner, baby. Hey, guys, what do you think about this hot dialogue right here?
Well, I like how you said about like the like that we're not gonna look like this like when we're older, So you shouldn't always focus about looks and stuff like that, because I'm like very kind of like spiritual, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
So you kind of have to like look more into the person. Like their soul is what matters. That's what stays and like goes around like everywhere. Like your body's not gonna be there the whole time.
Right.
So you should kind of focus on someone's personality and how they treat you and how you treat them and everything around it other than their body.
Right.
There's more to that.
Exactly.
Because you don't want to be with somebody just because they look like all cute and like
They ain't
attractive.
gonna be like that forever.
And you don't like their like personality. You have to like their personality to deal with them 24 hours a day or however long you're with them. So that matters.
Do you feel like because of all of this, I'm going to call it vanity, I'm going to call it straight up vanity, is that one of the contributing factors to why like relationships aren't lasting?
Right.
Like,
Definitely.
you gain too much weight. Like you could go from being thick to being fat in a matter of like 4 pounds, 6 pounds. And all of a sudden the girl that everybody was like, oh my gosh, she's so thick, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, she's fat now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
and you
saying?
go on to the next hot thing, and it doesn't stop, which makes me mad, because even when you get what you want, you're still wanting for something else. Like you go to the store, you get your favorite bag of chips, you finish that bag of chips, what do you want now? Another bag of chips. Like, come on, like you're gonna want the next thing that's coming and coming. It doesn't stop. So you, just like I said, you're gonna have to look for somebody that makes you happy, somebody that loves you, somebody that values you. You're valuing the wrong things. You're valuing the wrong people. That's why it's not lasting. That's why stuff's not going the way
Especially if you're in a
it's supposed to.
relationship and if you're gaining weight, it's happy weight.
Right?
Because like
I'm getting this because of all the love that I'm getting. You feel me?
All the home cooked meals. And then so then people get single, and then the first thing they do is hit the gym, right? And is that?
Well, it depends.
Usually, typically,
Typically.
we're leaning into some stereotypes right now. To
Just a little
that
bit.
as soon as you get that breakup, you're back in shape.
Focusing on yourself.
You want to be your best
The
self.
green
all of a sudden.
smoothie, and you're like on the elliptical getting it. Like, is that because we know that in order to get that attention, we got to get back right, per se?
Right. Your best self, again, supposedly.
Is that fair?
No.
Not
I don't think so at all. Why would you want to be your best self? Like, why would you not want to be your best self for the person that you're in love with? Like, why do you have to be your best? Why do you have to be your best? Right, even just for yourself, like self-love. Come on, but like, why do you have to go out and like? I feel like people want attention so bad, and I'm not even trying to be a hypocrite because I do this too. Like, I just
Disclaimer.
just for anyone watching. But like, just like you go and you do these things. Sometimes you don't even want to go do these things. Like, like you go out and you do it for the attention and the validation of other people. Girls want the validation of men. Men want the validation of women. Like it just it keeps going. Everybody is trying to validate each other, and I feel like that just leads to like a bad cycle and just goes around and around.
It's like a never-ending cycle.
Right.
It's like
Literally.
I'm gonna try and get this person, and like I'm gonna try and satisfy that person.
And then when you satisfy that person, you gotta satisfy. You're just gonna keep going. Satisfy yourself, man.
Ooh.
Satisfy yourself. For the girls, the young girls, satisfy yourself. Satisfy yourself with your hair, your nails, whatever. You wanna go out and get your toes done? Get your toes done for you. Get your hair done for you. Get your eyebrows done for you. Don't do it for other people, because you're never gonna win that way. You're never gonna win that way.
Is it
Ever.
wrong for a woman to? And we're men, so we're asking
Right,
questions.
right.
We're dumb, right?
Fill their brains.
For the sake of this episode, men are dumb. Okay.
Okay.
Like, is it wrong for a woman to want to look nice for her man?
Absolutely not. You can. I want to look nice. Like, come on. Like, it is okay to want to look nice for somebody, but I feel like if that's the sole reason why you're doing it, it's a little iffy to me, because you're trying to make that person happy with materialistic things. Even if they are happy with you, oh, I like your hair this color, you go change your hair that color. Oh, I like your nails this color, go change your nails that color. I feel like you satisfy yourself, but you can also satisfy the person you're with, or friends, family, whatever. But I feel like it just comes from yourself. Everything starts with you. Like everything has to start with you. Like honestly.
Go ahead.
When you have that self-love, like you said, all these other things that people think about or like say about you, it's not gonna matter because you know who you are as a person. So, that's a good thing that you touched on. Like, you got to love yourself, man. Because ain't nobody else going to do it. Like, there's some people that don't get any other love but themselves. And that's all they need sometimes. So
I want to play contrarian for a minute because I'm fun like that.
Absolutely.
And you said something I thought was really dope, and I think there's a good woman-man dynamic here. You said, my soul, be into my soul, be into me, right? With the advent of social media, the IG, the TikTok, the Snap, right? Are we going on there and being like, she looks like she has a good soul?
No. I feel like you're right. Absolutely.
So where is the balance
Yeah.
between what beauty is and like what leads us to want to be interested in somebody on a deeper level? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Because nobody's like, you never been at like a dance or something and been like, oh yeah, she looks like she got a good personality, bro. Like, heck yeah, so like where does that start and end for women, and what do you want to see out of that?
I can start that.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're right, absolutely right. Going on social media and seeing people the way they dress, going out in public, seeing someone, you're not immediately gonna look to their personality. You can't see a personality. But I feel like once you get to know someone and you're in their life and you still stay based on solely looks or solely how they look on the outside, that's where the problem comes in. Because you don't have to, but if you want to know that person, you need to understand their personality. You need to understand their motives and everything, their value, their morals, all of that stuff. And take all of that into consideration instead of just focusing on, she looks like this is why I'm staying with her, Or even flip it around, some girls do the same thing. Like, this is why I like him. He's cute. He has abs, blah, blah, blah. He goes to the gym. He has his own car. He has nice shoes. He dresses nice, good fit, whatever. There's a lot. It goes both ways, but I feel like, you gotta look at the other things instead of just
in
looking
general,
on that.
for the
Right.
long term.
Right.
yeah, long term. That's
Most
a good one.
definitely.
Most of the times what they do is, looks, like I said, are short term. That's not a long term type of thing. So if you're looking for something long term, you're gonna see how that person really is. Like, I forgot, was it you that mentioned something about I forgot what it was, but that's what you got to look for in a person if you really want to be with them and stick with them. Because
that's crazy. That's awesome that Generation Z cares about the content of somebody's life, character, soul, being, and yet still loves things that shine, dangle.
I love materialistic.
You know what I'm saying? At the exact same time.
I will never not love materialistic things, but there's a balance, I believe. There's always a balance, and there's always two sides to everything. So I believe that there's nothing wrong
with the materialistic things. You have to see it as temporary.
Exactly. Right.
And a human being, like, you have to see that as more long term.
Come on.
Especially if you like somebody and like are wanting to see a future, because a lot of people, they date. Like, not, what's it called? The saying, like, where you date to marry.
Right.
If you have that mindset, you're going to look for that person who you could, like, be with in long term. I'm not saying every person you date, you have to date to marry. Okay. But, like, date to have a long term thing. Right. Not just have, like, a little fling or something like that.
And kind of back to what Javon said, those things, the materialistic things and looking into someone's soul, they both have value. You can value materialistic things and value a person, but what's really going to be there in the end? That favorite pair of shoes you got is going to wear off and you're going to walk the dirt and be gone and have to go to the next. Them jeans is not going to fit you no more. That shirt's not going to fit you no more. But worry about that person. That person can stick with you, Like, value that person.
Let me take this thing and keep going with it since we're there. Yeah. Let's take it cultural. When you talk about hip hop, you have rap and you have all kinds of rap. Okay, you got J. Cole, you got Kendrick, you got Uzi Vert, you got, I could go on and on. You got
Polo
lyrical
G,
rap, you got Drake rap, you got pop rap. With women rap, it seems like there's like one.
Yes.
You're Cardi B, you're Megan Thee Stallion.
Glorilla.
Yeah, and you're fine. And then, like, you got Coi Leray, who always gets dogged out for being skinny.
Lizzo, too.
Like, and then you got Lizzo, who always gets dogged out for being big. But when you're talking about rap, it's like, you gotta be in something skimpy. You gotta be, your twerk gotta be right. Yeah. Nicki Minaj, when she did, like, the Anaconda thing years back, that was like, everybody was like, I love Nicki, I love watching Nicki, drop it low. And it's like, I would, I'd be watching, but I'm like, this is wrong. No, I'm just playing. I would watch and be like, maybe, what if some woman came out and she dressed like me, and she was just lyrical as heck, like super dope? will she get love?
Young and May.
Why
Young
not?
and May.
Young
yeah,
and
Young and
May.
May.
She gets love, but she ain't getting the type of love that
You know, Nicki Minaj.
that Nicki, Megan, Cardi. It seems like there's a certain
But that
lane.
kind of goes back to the other stuff.
Talk about it then.
Oh my goodness, I have so much to say.
Go ahead. This your spot.
It's like people get mad about that because I seen that a couple years ago. Like when Meg started getting big. I think it was around like the beginning of 2021. Like she started blowing up, you know. And people were on her about how you said about Coi Leray and Lizzo. You know, Lizzo and Coi Leray have been around for a minute, you know. And people always just they have comparisons, you know, and they try to compare like Coi Leray to Lizzo, like, you got the skinny girl, you got the fat girl, and then you have Meg Thee Stallion when she comes in and she does her like her whole WAP, whatever, Cardi B, all this, and I feel like people take it like it's hypocritical. Like men rap about a lot of like money and the girls that you get and this and that, but when a girl comes and she does it, it's seen as like, oh, she's a whore, she's this, she's that, she's not. Like, why are you doing this? You're putting yourself out there like this, you're putting yourself out there like that. It's not seen as. But if you go listen to like a old Kodak Black song or something like that, you hear all this stuff and it's just normal. Even for me, like I don't take it into, when I first heard like the song WAP, I was like, oh, what is this girl doing? But when I go and I listen to like, you know, even like the California rappers like EBK J-Bo or whoever, you listen to their songs and it's like, just, I like this. Like, you know, like you don't think about it the same. You think about it differently when it comes to men and women. And it is different when it comes to men and women because women get hated on more. Women get, you know, thrown around more, that you get complained about more. You can't do this, you can't do that. This song is bad. You know, stop rapping about just your body and rap about something better. Come on, tell a man the same thing and watch the reaction.
Watch hip hop die if they did that, right?
Like it wouldn't no.
What do you think about this as a woman?
I think like women rappers, they over-sexualize themselves, and I agree with that because in men music, they also over-sexualize us. Right. So they think, oh, if they're getting attention for sexualizing us, let's sexualize ourselves in our own music.
Right.
You know?
I feel like
and like you said about the skimpy outfits, they have to show out so people could be like, oh, look at her. Like to get that back, going back to getting attention.
Right.
Like the social media thing, you know?
I feel like it's like claiming your territory now. Because, you know, men have written their names on women, the whole, you know, well, women are this, women are that. But I feel like when a girl kind of takes back that title and is like, okay, I am. All right, and what now? Like, I'm taking your place. I'm doing what you're doing. What about it? It's like, oh, ew. Like, you kind of take a step back. Like, what is she doing, you know? But I feel like it seemed like, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it is a good thing. Like when a girl claims that, oh, okay, I'm gonna make my music like this too. What about it? Like she's making her money. She's doing what she's supposed to do. She got her nice cars, her fancy dresses, whatever. She's doing what they're doing, just in a different way. But I feel like people just hate on it more because it's a girl, you know?
Do you see this? What do you think?
This is a hard topic, man. But
I know it's hot in here. I ain't gonna lie. This is what it's all about, right? Getting to the real.
But yeah, man, honestly, it's like going back to social media, you know, that's what, you know, attracts the people. You know, that's what guys want to see, so they know that's what guys want to see, so they go and do it. But I mean, you know, like you said, you know, they're just doing what men were doing. You know, because when you watch, like you said, like guys rap music videos or whatever, you know, they have girls, you know, twerking, doing this, doing that. So it's like she said, they basically just took it around with it. You know, like if that's already what's popping, like let's make it popping for ourselves. You know, and when you think about it, I mean, they are like over sexualizing themselves and this and that, but they're making some good money doing it. you know, they're getting that bag. They're doing what they're doing. You know, maybe before it wouldn't have, you know, gone this far, but you know, now the day and age that we are, you know, it's getting more attraction. Now, honestly, I just hope that, like you said, we get more lyrical artists that are out here actually spitting some real things. And yeah.
Wow. James Brown once said, "It's a man's world." In my best James Brown impression.
What's the second part though?
It is.
Nah.
No? What is it?
Isn't it? But it won't be nothing without a woman.
Oh, but it won't be nothing without a woman.
I forgot that one.
I totally James Brown, yo. I'm sorry, family. But the question is it to you guys as women? This is another question for women. Do you feel like it's a man's world?
It definitely is.
Yeah. But women are killing us.
Yeah.
Women are killing us in everything. Every meeting I go to, every interview I have, 90% of the time, woman. Career, conferences, women, killing us. I'm not talking about like I'm talking about finish him, like
Yeah.
killing us.
Yeah.
Why is it still a man's world?
I
all
feel
I
like women have always been the underdog. So I feel like we're trying to come up now. We're not where we're supposed to be. But I still do believe that it is a man's world because there is a lot of things that women still get hated on for that men do that is like hypocritical, like super hypocritical. Like as we said in the music, you know, even in like working, like in every aspect, women are still not valued the same way as men are. And I feel like that's why it is still kind of a man's world because everyday things that women want to do or just, you know, anything at all, women are not held to the same standard as men. So I feel like men still run it, but we're getting to where we can run. Like if we want to run it too, we're gonna run it. But y'all still got your leverage here, and we're like working our way up, you know.
You know what's crazy is how you talked about them killing us. You know, just yesterday I was reading a book on psychology, and I saw that in education women are killing us, man. You know, like literally they're doing so much better than we are. And when you think about it, like you said, there's times where I have like meetings and conferences, and usually the leaders there are the women. Like just today I had a meeting, and the two of the leaders there, or actually no, like four of the like main leaders there were all women, and there was one guy. So when you actually look at it, like you said, you see them coming up, you see them doing their thing. So hopefully sometime in the future, it's all equal, man. That's the goal.
Not even equality, just equity. Just equity. That's what you need to focus on, equity. Not even equality. People, you can give women the same opportunities and give them the same materials that men have, but
they're still not there. Like,
we need that equity because this is
My God, real quick then. With that being said, there's also been this almost movement of men hating, like SZA, Summer Walker, Back to Culture, like. I hate you, what you done, you grimy dog. Like, I'm leaving you, you ain't worth nothing. Is that because of the kickback against men and dominating and using and treating them bad in your guys' eyes?
I feel like it's a way of them expressing themselves. Like, and many people who do listen to it, like women, they feel it, Like when you're in your feelings, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go listen to her because she understands me.
I listen
and
too.
it's because there's a whole bunch of guys that like kind of follow these patterns. Because when it's between two people, it's like, because I was reading a book called like Outliers, and it was like off topic, but when there's like two people, you call it like a feud. But then when there's so many other people doing the same thing, then like different relationships or men treating women a certain way, it's a pattern, right? Like it's a pattern that just keeps like occurring, and we kind of have to put like a stop to it. So.
All right, you guys. Well, we're having some good dialogue. I'm afraid right now. I think you guys are gonna punch me in the mouth.
I pour the water.
We're gonna take a quick break for a minute, dive out, decompress, then we're gonna jump back in and get on some more topics. What do you guys think?
Yeah, for sure.
You guys having fun with this?
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break.
My brain's kind of just like.
All right, welcome back. Voices for KERN. It got hot a minute ago, didn't it?
Yes.
I had to go get a couple drinks. Agua. We talked about some hot fire topics, man, and I just really want to express my appreciation to you guys for letting us express some of the things that we see, but also like schooling us on what you guys want and what Generation Z wants in this world and how you guys want to be perceived. I think that took a lot of courage. And I hope you men listened up and had your notepads out.
Take notes.
Yeah, because your time is over. All right? It's a woman's world.
Should take over.
It's time for change.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, we talked about a lot of things. And like carving a path forward. When we talk about what it means to move forward in this situation, what does that look like? And for one instance, you talked about image. Men want to see a certain image. Men want women on Snapchat doing this and Insta doing that, at the gym doing this, looking this way, curvy, all that good stuff. Is it men's job to wake up so that you guys stop wanting or needing to feel the need to, appease them? Or is it women's job to band together and say, I don't care what you guys want to see. We're going to rock how we want to rock. And you can kick rocks or whatever the case may be. Like, what do you guys think?
I think in general, women have like kind of worked their way up in this generation to try to empower like each other and try to like stop like the stereotypes and kind of like you said, like kind of just stand up for themselves. But I feel like it also depends on the men's perspective, because if they're still acting and expecting these unreachable expectations, us women, we're not going to be able to comfortably express ourselves or perceive ourselves as like you said, like the image part. We want to be seen as comfortable and all that. And if guys aren't letting us do that, if they're not letting us in, then it's not going to be like achievable in a way.
Bars.
All right, going off of what you said, I feel like it is a little bit of both, because I feel like if women keep trying to be what men want them to be, then men are going to keep expecting that. So if you guys, who cares what you say? I'm gonna pave my own way. If you guys pave your own way, I feel like this all can change, start a new trend, start a new culture. So I feel like it's a little bit of both, I feel like men have to stop expecting so much from women. And women they have to stop trying to please men, like please yourself, like you said, self-love. Who cares what they think,
Right. Kind of piggybacking off what Victor said, like expectations change all the time. Like you can expect something, and then once you get that thing, you can expect something else, like it just keeps going. So I feel like it is a little bit of both. Women do most definitely have to stop trying to please men, because men, I feel like, are unpleasable, but
No shots detected.
I feel like there's always going to be something more to want from like with men, so they're always going to want something else. Even if you give them everything that they've listed, they're going to have another sub bullet point for you to get it. So, and I also feel like it is up to women to want to, kick the door in and open the door and not be scared and be confident and just love yourself for who you are instead of trying to reach these unreachable expectations, as he has said. So, because I feel like it is about self-love. You do have to love yourself. You can't expect someone else to love you and appreciate you if you don't do the same thing for yourself. There's no way that it's going to happen. But guys say it is a man's world. So if it is a man's world, then I feel like men should not have the expectation that they have, because people will follow suit. People will follow. People will go after that. People will try their best to please, these people that they don't even know. Like on Instagram, you don't know all your followers. You're not, you don't know everybody on there. You're just doing it just to get someone's eyes on you, someone's attention, to get that validation. But it's both sides. Men have to stop expecting so much, and women have to stop giving into those expectations.
Do you think if men used their influence to also echo the stuff that you guys are saying, like, yeah, they're right, instead of, because sometimes when women get to talking about that, man will just kind of be like,
yeah, I feel like they get scared.
Like, but if they stood up and said, yeah, like we're following them, like we're gonna stop like objectifying them and stuff like that, and without being scared of being called.
Right.
What'd you call that?
A simp, a mandilon.
A mandilon. Oh man, it's terrible. Without that, if we stood up, do you think that would push the needle forward?
I think it would, because if men, like, if they all kind of like chant each other and kind of say like, oh, we can't be like a mandilon or like that, then that's what they're listening to, right? But if they say that we need to start perceiving women like more respectfully and kind of, like you said, echoing that message out, I feel like more men would kind of want to be put together. I feel like someone has to start it, and then they could like follow the leader with it.
Right.
Kind of,
I feel like, because guys are kind of followers. I mean, everybody's kind of a follower.
Shots on shots.
They do follow
true.
a lot.
It is true.
You see the group in school, and everybody's following the group leader. So I feel like once someone does start it, and once they don't, it has to be that person who doesn't care. Because when someone is called a simp or called like, oh, you have too much respect for this person, they do kind of like shy away from it and do kind of go back into the peer pressure and listening to what the people that they're around, their surroundings. That's why people you surround yourself with is super important. It's like you're always hearing those little voices in your ears about, oh, don't do this. She's this, she's that. Don't respect her. She's gonna do this. She's gonna do that. Like they're always gonna listen to that. You have to surround yourself with people who think the same way that you do, who want to go to the same levels that you want to go to. But if you're in a group of people and you're like, oh yeah, I respect women, and you like, guys are gonna laugh. It's gonna be funny to them. Like, really? I don't like. And then you're gonna think like, oh, am I doing something wrong? You start questioning yourself. You start questioning your motives. You don't have that confidence in yourself. But I feel like if you get that one person who knows that they know for sure, I'm not going to let anybody disrespect women. If you disrespect somebody, I'm going to call you out. Ooh. We need to have that one person. And then I feel like everybody else will follow that person, because they know that those boundaries are set and you're not crossing that boundary even with nothing at all.
And you know what? I got a little like funny story, going off of, like what men expect from women and stuff like that. I used to have a homie who, he was dating this girl. And he didn't value her. He was out here cheating, doing this and that. And then when the girl did the same, he comes to us all sad, and we're like, bro, like, what are you doing, bro? He's like, yeah, bro, she cheated on me. And then his cousin's like, what are you talking about, bro? You're always cheating on her. Like, you gotta value her, So I feel like as men, we gotta value women, because, like you said, a lot of the times our expectations is what they want to go off of. So I feel like if we stand up and say, it doesn't matter what we think, it's what you feel, how you want to feel. So I feel like that's going to make a change. If men actually stand up and, make a change and just, ban with women, like, let's start this whole group and let's make a change.
Wow.
It's time for change.
Time for change. Okay. When you talk about valuing women, so many slang words. I'm going to give you a few.
Sure.
Thought. What else?
Slut, hoe, whore.
So many words given to devalue women for doing the same things that you rap about wanting them to do in the song. Then she does them, like that guy, Cheater McGavin. We're going to leave him John Doe for now. But we see you, McGavin. He's all sad, right? Because she's done the same thing and now she's all of these things.
Yeah.
Right? Do women, we know you don't like it, but do women tolerate that stuff from us to keep it cool? Or what are your thoughts on something this? I know it's heavy, but I want to know.
I feel like women tolerate a lot. Mostly to keep people around, because you don't want to push someone's, I would say, boundaries, because a lot of people do have that precedent set that, once I get a guy, I have to keep him, and then, you don't want to be the girl who had a guy for 2 months or 6 months or a year, and then, what happened to y'all? Oh, she did this. She complained about this. She did that. And then he starts to bring up all the flaws that you have, or supposedly you have. And then it just turns, it always flips on her, I feel like. It's never really his fault, It's never really, he needs to take accountability for what he did. It's always like, you're going to find a way, or they will find a way to make it about her wrongs. And I feel like that's why girls don't really want to say, like, oh, he did this, he did that. She's like, oh, we're still cool. Oh, we just fell off, Like, it's never really, he did this, he needs to be taking accountability for this. Girls don't want to say that.
Wow.
Girls never want to say that, because me personally, I don't want to say that.
Why? See?
I don't.
Why?
I don't like it. It'll cause a bigger problem for me. Just to call somebody out on their stuff, it causes more problems than for me to just be quiet, shut my mouth, and let him go about his way and do his thing.
What do you think about that?
I kind of speak up, honestly.
I see that.
I'm not like, I don't know, like, I'm not gonna sit here and like deal with somebody's, like, if they're treating you wrong, you should get out of the situation before it gets worse.
Right.
And especially if we're talking about empowering women, we have to start with ourselves. Like, you went back to self-love.
Yeah.
You have to love yourself and respect and value yourself first. So that way somebody else can value you in the same way.
Right.
Because if you show, like, if you're like degrading yourself and you're hating on yourself, people are going to be like, oh, well, she does it to herself, so she doesn't mind if I do it.
Right. That's what I take it as. Like, when you tolerate so much in a relationship and other people see that, they think that they can do the same thing to you. That's why I feel like once a girl gets hurt by a guy, or she gets something done to her by a guy, everybody else follows suit. Like, oh, he did you like this, so I'm gonna do you like this too. That's why girls don't really like to tell another guy about how she got done bad in a past relationship. Because, he'll take that and he'll run with it. You tolerated this, and this, so I'm gonna give you this, and this, plus this, It's just, there's so much. And I feel like, I don't know, like, I honestly, I don't even know why I tolerated myself. Because, I'm never gonna, nobody will ever degrade me and disrespect me ever. But, like, it's just, I feel like I take pride in not being the person who starts the problem. I take pride in loving myself more than trying to go over and beyond to expose somebody else's flaws. You can handle that yourself. I'm not your mother. I'm not going to tell you, you need to handle this. You need to do this. If you have some problems, you can deal with that on your own. I will be quiet and let you deal with your stuff on your own, but I'm leaving. I'm gone. I'm not going to, he needs to do this, and this. I'm not going to hold your hand, walk you around, walk you to middle school, elementary. I'm not doing that. I'm not your mom. But
is it scary to be the person that speaks up because that person always seems alone? The person that says, nah, this ain't right, that person's by themselves. Yeah. That person's single as a Pringle, as they would say, because they don't say the right thing. Like, sometimes it's hard. I'm sure it's hard for women to say, do I rock out alone until the right, people, friends, family respect me as a woman? Or do I, just accept and kind of be able to stay in the mix.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people want to stay in the mix. They want to stay where it's safer. They
And
want to
that's
stay
why
where
there's an
it's...
endless cycle.
Yeah.
And that's why things like past 3 generations keep happening. And we bring these problems up again, but then the same women that, like you said, like just stay in that cycle, it's not going to end ever, you know?
Yeah.
So somebody has to like speak up and like have that culture of honor and try to like speak up and end that cycle. And especially right now, I think with this generation, we have kind of like parents, they do more like gentle parenting than like back then, you know? Even when it comes to relationships and stuff. So having that person in your life that you could talk to and like freely express yourself to, and they can give you that like well-developed advice to like go on with like your situations, kind of helps out a lot.
I feel like it starts with parents too, even with moms, you know, because my mom personally been through so many bad relationships, and you know, growing up watching that is just like, that sets a precedent for me to be like, oh, is this how this is supposed to go? Is this how I'm supposed to be treated when I grow up and get married and do this and this and that? And then when you go out into the world and you find out that's not normal, you know, that's not something that you should be proud of, you know, I feel like it angers me, you know, like ain't nobody want to see my mama go through that, you know, like nobody wants to see that. And me specifically, but definitely do not want to go through that. But I feel like a lot of people just don't know how to, you know, stand up for themselves. And I feel like teaching, even with this generation specifically, like teaching people at a young age that they need to value themselves over, you know, having these materialistic things and all these people who don't value them. I feel like that's really, really important.
Wow.
To teach younger people, to teach people who don't understand now so that they will understand later. You know, because it is repetitive and annoying. And my mom told me this all when I was little, but you know, I'm like a little kid, like, you don't know what you're talking about, Mom. Like, this is stupid. I don't want to hear about this. I'm like, I'm 10. I don't care.
I'm grown, Mom.
Like,
I'm 10.
I know about this. I know about this. You know what?
Is there a double standard in parenting? Pop pulls up for the weekend, takes you to Denny's, and gets you a toy from Dollar General, and he's like freaking Clark Kent, Superman, right? And then Mom is like taking care of you every day, and she gets the bad rap because she's like more grumpy and more this and that. Like, is that a fair dynamic in parenting, do you think?
Not at all.
No.
Why do you think that is?
I know that I did that with my dad. Like, he would pull up in his little Rolls Royce and come pick me up, take me out shopping, blah, blah, blah. And just, I would be like, oh, it's so cool to be with my dad. But he would never talk to me about the stuff that really mattered. But my mom was there every day. You know, she seen me go through the bullying in middle school, elementary school, even high school, you know, all this stuff. She seen me go through all of it, and she was the one who had to deal with it. Wow. And I never pictured it that way. I always seen it like, you're trying to... I'm like, don't parent me. I feel like that's what I was telling her, you know? Like, don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me this. Like, why are you doing this, you know? I didn't really understand it before, but now it's like, I'm glad she did. I'm glad she told me these things. I'm glad she put that... she put those heavy words on me. She put those heavy words in my heart so that I understand, you know? But I feel like I like the glamorous, you know? When I was little, I like the glamorous. Like, oh, my dad he doesn't make me talk about the hard stuff. He don't ask me if I get bullied at school. Like, we just go get pizza and we talk about getting clothes and shoes. And my mom tells me, if someone does this, if someone doesn't value you, you do this, do that. Like, she tells me the hard stuff, the stuff that matters, the stuff that's important, the stuff that I need to know. And I feel like I didn't value it before, but now, you know, I'm only 18. I'm still getting older. Like, I'm still trying to understand like her words and try to not base myself, but like learn from her mistakes and learn from the things that she could not do because her mom didn't tell her, you know? It's basically just like not trying to break the cycle or break that generational curse of just being treated so badly, especially as a Black woman, being treated so badly and stepped on and having the door slammed in your face and not being, before you even talk, when you walk in a room, you're getting judged, you know? All of that heavy burden, and just trying to break that curse, trying to be that person who knows, and that person who can teach other people so that they know, and then they can teach their kids so that they know, and everybody. Like, it's just,
This is getting deep
it all
as
comes
heck.
together.
Victor, what about a woman that you can think of in your life, family or not, that you admire, and why?
My girlfriend.
Right off the rip too, boy. You about to get some good dinner.
Like for real though. Like, she's gone through things. I even tell myself, like, some of the things you've been through. It's like, how do you deal with it? Wow. Like, you know, with things where at family, I'm like, you know, I've been through things, and I was like, I can tell you right now, I wouldn't have been that patient. You know, I'd have been like, what the heck? Like, you want some action? I'll give you some action. You know.
Oh yeah.
So and it's, you know, it's just, I see the things that she's done and she's been through, and I'm just proud of her. You know, seeing how much she's grown. It's crazy, man. Sometimes I have a class right right before this, and my professor's like, I can't imagine being a woman, and I was like, I can't imagine it either, man. It's a mission and then some.
Right.
Wow, that's beautiful. What about you? You guys got any women you could think of that you admire right off? Or?
For sure, my mom.
Your mom, yeah, you went in on that one,
Yeah.
Mom. Shout out to you, Mom. Cece,
Shout
Mom,
out to Elizabeth.
Cece's growing up. Elizabeth?
Elizabeth.
Shout out Liz. Liz?
Yeah.
Can I do
Liz,
that?
yeah.
That was fine?
Devon.
Okay.
She
Okay.
likes to, she liked Devon. But
That's what's up.
shout out to my mom. I feel like, I don't know. She's been strong. She's been through some stuff. And we were there and we listened and we heard it. And we, as kids, we didn't understand. Like, I have 7 siblings, including myself. I have 8. So my mom had some handfuls, you know. She had a very big handful. Wow. And having a lot of kids who don't understand, you know, all of us are kind of really close in age. So my sister's like 19, I'm 18, and my little sister's like 15, 14, you know, so we're pretty close, you know. So it's a lot of butting heads, and she got to deal with the good, the bad, the middle, all of it. She got to deal with everything. So shout out to my mom. So
what about you?
I honestly can't, because I feel like growing up, I don't really remember like a lot, but growing up, my mom or my grandma, she was very kind of like mean, and my mom kind of like got that from her, and so my mom would kind of just like close down or go into her room and like just go into a little tight space, and I would always see her like that's like her child self going into her room or the corner and like kind of hiding away from that feeling, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what she kind of did to us, and that's why I kind of like followed from her. So I feel like I didn't like go into that same route. I was kind of like I know your environment affects a lot, so if they're doing bad, you're gonna want to do bad. But me, I kind of, I don't know, I would like talk a lot, even like more than my age, and I would always kind of be like, I would always kind of get told like to like shut up or something because I wasn't like old enough to talk about it. But I kind of saw things and I would be like, oh no, that's not right, and they'd be like, you don't know what's right, like that. So I would kind of get like shut off.
Wow.
And kind of like I kind of moved out of my mom's when I was like 14, so I had to kind of learn how to kind of develop myself and like kind of grow on my own, you know, and try to get through like different things. I don't know. It's like, it's hard to elaborate what I'm trying to say.
You're killing it right now. Can
It's
I hug you right now? Can I hug you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
That's so dope. Thank you for being like so courageous to share that. Because like even in the same vein, like my mom was really hard growing up. My mom was abusive, just to be honest. And my mom told me that I wasn't gonna be anything in life often. Sorry, Mom. Because we're cool now, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, it's true, right? And I got out of the house early and I got homeless earlier on. Right around the time of 17, I got into the Air Force so I could escape being homeless. And that didn't work out very well because it was like I still was super traumatized, right? So when I think about my mom, I really appreciate what she's done for me. But then at the same time, sometimes I look back and I have those memories of like, dang, Mom, did the world beat you up so bad that you had to beat me up?
Yeah.
And should I blame her or should I blame the world that created what she became to me? So, and I'm sharing that because you shared, and I just think that that's super dope.
Kind of makes you want to share too.
No, that's crazy. I grew up without my mom. You know, my whole life I grew up with my dad, and there was times where I felt like me and my dad, you know, like my relationship with my dad was, you know, I mean, you know, imagine 2 guys, you know, coming at each other. So, you know, I felt like there was times where I needed my mom there too, you know, because you need that love. And then growing up too, like with my girlfriend, she'd tell me things like, you know, why are you like this? And I'm like, well, you need to realize I didn't get that. Like, my dad didn't show me that much love. You know, I can't remember the last time I heard "I love you" from my dad. You know, so that's what's crazy. Like, I feel like with me, it's hard for me to show love like that too, because you know, women. That's, you know, your mom is who shows you that love.
Love language.
Yeah, bro. Like my dad wasn't gonna show me that. My dad, you know, he didn't get that love either, so he didn't know how to show it to me. And I didn't really have anybody. So that's why I'm trying to break a cycle and I'm trying to do all these other things, trying to learn. And
so do you think the absence of a good, strong woman in your life led to some emotional, like, you know, issues in your life?
A lot, man. A lot. You know, I felt like there's a lot of things that, you know, I couldn't go talk to my dad about, you know, issues that I had going on. You know, and I felt like, and if I did, you know, I felt like you said, you know, my dad used to hit me too. You know, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get beat today. You know, like I don't want to say nothing. But I felt like if I would have had my mom, I could have gone to talk to her about some issues. You know, maybe I wouldn't have gone out to the streets. Maybe I would have had somebody to look after me, and I wouldn't have been looking out here doing this, doing that. You know, so I feel like, you know, having a strong woman figure is, you know, just as much as a father figure. Like you need that, to be honest.
You need both.
Yeah.
Stable. It's like a balance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Women
like the
need
mom
men,
shows
men
you.
need women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to.
Yeah, like
Wow.
mom shows you something the dad don't show you, and the dad shows you things that mom ain't gonna show you. You know, so
Yeah, I almost look at it as the perfect act of teamwork, right? The man gives the woman the seed, the woman carries the seed, has the seed, takes care of his seed, and then he tends to his seed with her. That's that perfect example of what it's supposed to look like. Now, segueing out, that was dope, by the way. But segueing out, I want to talk about one more thing: gender roles.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of what we're talking about right now too.
Yeah. It's a man. What does he say? It's a man. I don't know the lyrics. Okay, whatever.
You
It's a
always
man.
forget that second part.
Yeah, it's a man.
That second part.
Right, that's the jam. But it wouldn't be anything without a woman. Why do we look at certain chores to be for women? And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the dishes, cooking.
Yeah.
What else?
Oof.
Those are the main
Laundry.
ones. Well,
Taking care of
laundry,
the children.
taking care of the kids. Men wanna
Yeah.
get in there, but
And then men are kind of more outside the house, like
Yeah.
gardening.
I mean, I don't know. You know, I clean the house sometimes. I wash my dishes. I
Right.
cook.
come
so,
on.
I don't know. You know, to keep me out
Dinner
that
for
box.
Victor.
You know, like I do some things because Boys Council. That was a good thing that we did, and honestly, like I got to learn so much from it. I can't, you guys couldn't even imagine how much it changed my life. Because
Wow.
just being able to hear what all the other men had to say, it kind of just opened up my eyes. Like, I remember having Crystal there. She was like talking about taking out the trash, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a man's thing. But I told her, I was like, I want to be able to, help my girlfriend too without having to be like, oh, it's because that's what women do, So I wanted to be the standout figure, I guess you could say.
Let me ask you this: does it still? Because even though I hear that and I accept that, does it still feel weird to watch your girl take out the trash?
I
And
mean,
you feel like you need to do it.
not really, cause no, look, let me say something though. Not really, cause seeing me, I'm sweeping and mopping. You feel me? Like, I don't think she's like, oh, I feel bad that he's sweeping and mopping, but so I feel like gender equality,
Yeah.
gender
That's
equality.
funny because I had a conversation with my boyfriend, and he cooks really well. Like he wants to be a chef at heart.
Mr. Yasmin, shout out.
So he cooks, and then while he's cooking, I clean. Like I clean the dishes, or I clean whatever he. Like it's like a both. It's like
Teamwork
a
makes
balance.
the dream work.
Yeah.
Me too. With my boyfriend,
Yeah.
he's learning how to cook and stuff. I'm trying to teach him like some stuff because his mom was like not really there. She was there, but she wasn't there. You get me? So I was trying to teach him a couple things. Just to get him to know his way around. But I feel like I don't mind doing stuff. Like I don't mind like if he's like, make me a sandwich, babe. Like I'll make you that sandwich, but I feel like it's just like the expectation that I have to. That's what makes me mad. But if I want to and I want to, if you're hungry and I'm gonna get you something, like it's fine. You need this wash, I'll do your laundry. You need the trash taken out, I'll take the trash out. But it's just the expectation that I have to do it because I'm a girl. That's what makes me mad because I'm like, right, like I was already cleaning the dishes, but you told me to clean the dishes. I'm not gonna do that.
So what if he's your boyfriend? He's like, babe, this grass ain't gonna cut itself.
If he's joking,
I'm just asking.
If he's joking, and if the grass is not gonna cut itself, and I know how to cut grass, I'll cut the grass.
Okay.
But like,
hey, there's
it's the expectation that makes me mad because you're expecting me to, because I have to do something because I'm a girl. But if I want to do something and you need me to do something, I'll do it for you. But I'm not gonna go to your expectations. I'm not gonna do that. You can do it yourself if that's the case.
Look, we just had, I think, a straight up powwow on issues that are affecting you guys, and men. We took the back seat and really listened to you guys. You guys have so much courage. Thank you for being willing to share and to talk and to just really lead the way, Generation Z. I feel less dumb. I'm gonna go home and do good. Vic, you're the man, bro. Voices for KERN podcast. We ain't going nowhere. The hottest shows, the deepest talks. What time is it?
It's time